got an offer, for 124.9 sight unseen. I'm like, that's 100K. I'm just gonna take that.
Yeah. Welcome, everybody, to the Wholesaling Inc. podcast, America's #1 podcast for new real estate investors, where we know that finding discounted property is the most proven path to financial freedom. I am your host, Brent Daniels, Mr. TTP, and I am telling you, if I can do it, so can you. So let's get started. I am in Phoenix, Arizona. We've got all the way across the country in Tampa Bay, Florida. I've got an incredible real estate investor, an incredible real estate wholesaler that is going to break down how he put together an over six-figure deal by only spending $500 to get that deal. It's going to be an incredible story, but his story, his journey in this business over the last 4 years is even more important and more inspirational. I'm really pleased to bring Mark McCluster to the Wholesaling Inc. podcast. Mark, say hello to everybody.
Hey, everybody, and Brent, thanks for bringing me on.
I'm excited to have you on here. I mean, when you posted your deal to our private TTP group, it was like everybody just went bananas. Everybody was so excited. I mean, it's one of those things that we think about all the time is, can you put together a deal in your career that is over six figures? And we'll get into that. But first, give us your background, Mark. Talk to me about where you grew up and how you found real estate wholesaling, and most importantly, real estate investing, because, I mean, it's just not everybody learns about it. Not everybody has this passion that you have. So how did you find it, and how do you feed that passion?
Gotcha. So it all started back in, I'll say, about 2011. I was doing some time in federal prison. So I had to come up with a plan when I come home. So in doing my time, I was researching, a good friend of mine, he's like my brother now. We was talking around and we just said, real estate came up. We want to do real estate when we get out. So during that time, I had limited resources. So books and through everything I can gather up, talking with people, I gathered as much information as I can while I was in there. When I came home, I continued my education. Was able to get more researchers such as YouTube and books and everything like that. And also, it was a real estate investor in that area, Kenny Russian. He was well known up there when I was doing time as well. So when I came home, I researched him. And so far, just by researching, I came up on wholesaling. I'm like, what is this wholesaling thing? It's a way to quick money, quick cash. So I kept researching. Talking with my landlord about it. He owned a lot of rental property, so I was asking him about it. And he told me, yeah, it's a great way to make money. So I just continued on, through Bigger Pockets, through YouTube, just learning as much as I can and soaking as much information. And I figured out, that I can actually, make money without even buying it myself.
Yep.
Which I had already done before I went to, do some time. But I bought that property just to live in, not as an investment property. So
Right.
through figuring out, I have to do something that can make me some money, what I was used to. And this was it. And this was even better than that. So, that's how I came about it. And it was on from then. I just learned as much as I can. Took action, I got out doing AC work. I took up a trade, doing AC work. I figured I'd do that, trying to just find my way. It was close to what I wanted to do, as part of a home. That way I can learn, because I had a vision, I'm gonna own rental properties one day. So I'll know about AC units at least. So I can save me some money there.
For sure.
So in that time, on the job, I got my headphones in, listen to Bigger Pockets, listen to YouTube, because I can work and, still have my headphones in. So on the way to work, from work, that's all I'm doing. I'm learning. I learned from a whole year, before I actually before I did my first deal. I actually took a little bit of action by sending letters, dropping dollars and sending postcards. Went on a few appointments, but nothing solid, nothing signed. So after that, I reached out and said, I'm tired of just, getting this close. I need a mentor reached out, found a local mentor in my area. This was at the end of 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Got a mentor. End of 2015. We worked for me 3 months. I continued to send postcards. And I landed my first deal on March 4th, 2016. And that was it. From then, I just kept doing them and kept doing them and kept doing them. I think I just needed that extra push because I was pretty much on the right path.
Yep.
And it was just something just holding me back, from getting it done. And I think I just need that extra push, but I got it from my mentor, who actually is also a great friend of mine to this day.
That's incredible. And so was this all in Tampa?
This was all in Tampa, yeah.
Awesome. I mean, I think it's absolutely incredible. And for anybody out there that's obviously watching this or listening to this, that's part of the process that you went through, right? You were gathering the information, you were getting the education, you were feeling comfortable going forward. But it wasn't until you actually took action. I mean, once you started getting into your first deal, I mean, how much did you learn from the actual process, from actually going through the first deal? You know what I mean? It's much different than watching a video on it or hearing somebody else do it. It's like, you could watch 1,000 YouTube videos on learning how to swim or something, but until you jump into the water, it's a whole different experience. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that that's what you did. And I think that that's the most important step. I'm telling you, everybody out there listening and watching, 85% of the people that are listening and watching will not take action. That is the statistics. Only 15% actually do it. And so the people that actually take action, there's not a lot of competition. I mean, you might feel like it a lot, but you can, if you talk to enough people, if you have enough quality conversations with distressed property owners, you literally cannot lose. You will be able to get deals. So how long have you been doing it full time since 2016?
Well, to me, I've been doing it full time since I actually went full time probably about 17, because I'll slow down in the slow periods. I'll get back and I'll go to a job. I'm like, oh, I need to get a job, but I never quit the wholesaling. I'm at work because I got a job back in a maintenance worker at an apartment complex. Because the trade school I went to, I was still doing AC units there. Yep. So I'll still learn. I'll still, I subbed it out, the calls and postcards and everything, my leads and stuff, to where I can actually get it from my phone. After work, on my break, I go to appointments. I never stop, because at the end, my end goal was to get out. It was not this 9-to-5 job. It was to do this full time. I still had a family and everything I had to support. So I had to go back to a job. And then, one day I said, forget this. I'm going. I'm just going to go off faith, and it's all going to work out. And that's what it did.
God, I love it. I love it. And listen, how did you balance? I mean, honestly, how do you balance a 9-to-5? A lot of people listening have a 9-to-5 or watching have a 9-to-5 job. How do you balance? And not only that, not only did you have a 9-to-5, Mark, you had a 9-to-5 where you were on roofs, you were in people's attics. I mean, you were doing this is tough, work. How did you have enough energy at the end of the day or between your breaks to either respond to the people calling you from your marketing, or getting deals and letting everybody know that you were buying ugly houses? Like, how did you find the energy to do that? Where did that come from?
My why, which is my kids and my family. It's something I got to do. This job is not going to do it for us. I knew this wasn't going to do it for us. So that was my biggest why. My kids, and my wife was my biggest why I had to, keep those headphones in, watch my phone on my break, go to appointments after work, go to appointments, weekend, whenever I had to do it, I had to get it done. And I had to continue learning and keep trying to find a deal, my next deal.
But how exciting was it? Wasn't your brain just on fire when you would get somebody to call and you're working, you're doing your thing, and then all of a sudden you check your phone and you're like, oh, somebody wants to get an offer from me, or somebody wants an appointment or something like that. And then all of a sudden you have that shot of dopamine to your brain and you're like, oh yes, this could be the one. This could be the one. I got to keep going. I got to keep going and building. I mean, wasn't it exciting?
Yeah, it was very exciting for me, because I knew, my next deal was coming. As long as I got my leads coming in, something's going to come through. So that's all I needed, was the leads to keep coming in, and opportunity for me to get that next deal to get me out this 9-to-5 job.
And you were doing it just as yourself, and then you had a local mentor, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So did you go to meetup groups? Did you squat up with people in your area? Did you kind of get the opportunity to be around people that were doing it, or was it just mostly coming from that successful mentor?
I attended local RIA meetings as well. It's a real estate TB RIA meeting in our area. It's a big meetup. I attended those. Met with different investors. Asked questions and things like that. Also met up with a guy who at one of those RIAs who actually met up with me. And I'll call him whenever I got properties under contract and get his advice and everything. And he was a big help to me as well.
That's absolutely incredible. I mean, and I think that that's so important. Is when if you're, I mean, I don't care where you're at in the process. I don't care if you've never done a deal before, if you've done it. I think that you need to be around people that are going through the same things that you are. You know what I mean? Especially when you're starting out, especially when you have another job that you're working and you've got that group of friends, you've got that network of people, but you need to be around the other people that are where you want to be and that are excited about real estate investing. Because I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but I experienced this being a real estate agent, which is even crazier. Is I would have conversations with other realtors about investing, about wholesaling property, and their eyes would gloss over. They would have no idea what I was talking about. They had no interest in it. All they wanted to do is be a real estate agent. And I was like, I got to get away from these people, and I got to go with my people over here that are talking about getting deals, finding opportunities, solving the problems in the community, because that's what we do. We're looking for people that have those properties that are problems. Have those properties that need a lot of love, have those people that emotionally they're not able to take care of this situation themselves. And so we reach out, and it's a huge blessing when we have the opportunity and have those calls when you're working a 9 to 5 to be able to help those people, because you don't get deals unless somebody has a problem that you can solve. So, I mean, it's just so incredible, but it's important to be around people that understand that. If you're around people that all the time, they're like, wait, you're taking advantage of people, you're taking people's equity, you're trying to get discounts on properties, that's not even possible. Appraisals and real estate agents in the market won't let you do that. What people don't understand is there are people that need some help out there. You need to surround yourself with people that understand that we are a blessing and not a burden to our community. And that's what you did with your mentorship. That's what you did. I see that with successful people. They find other people that are doing it, and they really attach themselves, and they really just do. And not only that, but they get inspired to take the action, which I think is the most important thing. So, yeah. And coming from, I mean, listen, from 2011 to 2016, there's a lot of changes in your life. From 2016 to 2020, there's an incredible amount of changes in your life. And you are a real life example of what a difference 5 years makes. Yeah. What a difference 10 years. You're almost 10 years from 2011. How old are you now?
33. I just turned 33 last month.
33 years old. You could do this for the next 60 years. You know what I mean? Like, that's what's so exciting about this. So let's break down this big massive deal that you just closed. And you're closing deals all the time, but I want to talk and get everybody excited about this one. So break it down. I want to break where you found it, what list it was from, how did you get initially, what was your lead generation, what was the condition, their timeline, their motivation, their price. So let's really dig deep into this.
Yeah, this deal, I'm gonna always remember this deal because it was a lot of stuff happening through this time frame in this deal. I got this deal. It came from texting. I sent out my first text campaign, Slingshot. So I uploaded, $500 for the. I guess you got to upload $500 to use it. I uploaded a list through a list I had already had, a high equity list I had already had in my system from gathering data over my time in real estate. I always still hit those same lists through different marketing strategies. So I uploaded the list, sent the blast out. And on this day was May 14th. Mm-hmm. And so what I always wanted to do was pay my tithes. I never paid my tithes, so that's what I did on May 14th. Paid my tithes to my grandmother's church. I paid my tithes. I got my mind right. I went to work, went to check my messages, got a guy, sent out a text. He wanted to sell. I went back and forth with him through communication, through text. He wanted to say, I looked it up. He said he wanted he was behind on taxes. He wanted $15,000 plus the back taxes owed. So I did research. I seen it, totaled up everything. So the total purchase price was $24,000. It was what he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at it a little bit. I'm like, it's a no-brainer. I know somebody's going to buy this deal.
Yep.
So I still had never talked to him on the phone. Sent the contract via DocuSign. He reviewed it. He wanted me to take a few changes out. I adjusted the contract a little bit. He signed it right then and there. That day, I didn't think about the deal for like another week because my grandma had been in the hospital since the beginning of the year. 4 days later, she passed away. So I got the contract signed May 14th, paid my tithes to her church May 14th. She passed away May 19th. I'm depressed. I'm like, just not in it. Didn't pay attention to the deal. After we did everything, we laid her to rest on my birthday, May 28th. So I'm like, okay, after we get everything done, I'm gonna get back into it. That was on the 1st. I go back to my system, check the message. He's like, hey, is everything good? Never still talked to him. I got the contract signed on May 14th. I'm like, yeah, everything's good. We're still looking to go. So I'm like, dang, I got a week to close it. What I'm gonna do? Okay, I got to get rid of this deal. I got to start marketing this deal. So what I looked over a little bit, I said, okay, I'm just gonna put it on the MLS. I'm not gonna try to blast it out because I sent it to a few investors in the area. They like it. It's pretty much out of the area, not because it was in the rural area. And so they're not messing with that area. So I was like, I'm not. I got a short period of time. I'm gonna put it on the MLS. Put it on the MLS. I got a few. I put it on there for 60,000. That was at that time I'm making like 40 grand, 40,000, something like that. So I'm like, okay, put on there. Phone with the. So I put on 10 minutes later. Phone with the ringing. Oh yeah, I'll give you 60. I'm like, okay. So I got a call. I'm like, okay, hold up. Hang up. Phone went to blowing up back to back, nonstop. I had over 100 calls, 100 texts, 100 voicemail. I said something's not right. So then it went to big number. Oh, I got 70. I say they went to like 70s, then 80s. I say, you know what? I'm just going to wait, hold out, and see what's the highest I can get. Highest I can get. I'm going to hold out to like 5 o'clock this evening. I'm going to see what the highest I can get. And I'm going to make my decision. I'm going to go with the highest offer. It went all up. I got an offer, for 124.9 sight unseen. I'm like, that's 100K. I'm just gonna take that. Get done. I'm not gonna overbid. I'm not gonna, be greedy. I'm just gonna take that and run with it. That's what I did. I sent them a contract immediately because that was a 100 grand assignment for me. After the 101,000 or something like that, just a little bit over. So they said, okay, they just want to see, did a draw by, they just want to see it. I arranged the time with the tenant to see it over the weekend. I wasn't even going to go to the home. But I'm like, I just want to go out there to see why was I getting so many calls about this home.
Yeah.
So I went out there, I met with them.
So you had never seen this house?
I would have never seen this house. Only reason I went because I'm like, I want to know why is everyone calling about this house?
Right.
What's going on?
Yeah.
I just, got in my car that morning. I met up with them. I went out there. They walking through. They loved the house. They loved the house. They said, we love this house. I'm like, yeah, I could have got more for this house.
Uh-huh.
got more. I know I could have got more for it. But I'm like, I'm just going to take it. It's a blessing for me. I'm going to take it. They was good with everything. We closed it, on the 12th. The 12th, and so the total gross assignment fee was like 101,000. After me paying some of the sellers' taxes that had them added up through time waiting, the real estate commission fee 2%, I walked away with 97,000 and some odd dollars.
Hold on a second. Woo! I am certain that the question that everybody's thinking in their minds is, why did that guy sell the house for $22,000? What was the reason?
He said the tenants had not paying rent in over a year, and I'm assuming he had owed $9,000 in taxes. So either he was gonna lose the house and not get anything, and he wasn't getting anything out of the property anyways. And he said it was his father's house. I'm not sure what else was going on. Like I said, I talked to him one time after about a 14-day span because we was going back and forth. I had to gather more information to put the property on the MLS. So that he was like, "Hey, just give me a call real quick," and he gave me the information, and that was it. Done. Never spoke to him again. Anytime after that, and anytime
Did
before
he
that.
live in town or was he out of state?
Out of state. I'm not sure
Uh-huh.
then, but he was out of state.
Yep. And
Um,
just because you sent out, I mean, how many text messages did you send out? You said you had loaded up $500, but
and I didn't even use the whole 500. I still got some balance left, like $100 and something.
yeah.
So I sent about, I would say a few thousand, because Slingshot charges 2 cents, I think, a text, 28 cents a text, something like that, point two zero, something like that. So
Yeah.
I sent out a few thousand texts. I believe it was this list had about no more than 2,000 names on it.
Yep.
This
Yep.
particular list, and
And
I go
was he where did you get that list?
list source. I
List
got
source, what, like out of state owners?
Yeah, out of state owners, high equity, out of state owners.
It's
Um,
very simple, guys. If you're listening to this, watching this, or if you're listening to this, you can definitely watch this at Brent Daniels YouTube, Brent Daniels Real Estate YouTube channel. It's really interesting when you can pull lists of people that have at least 30% equity. So the reason you want to pull that is because to wholesale, you need to make sure that they have equity in their property, right?
yeah,
We're not doing creative financing. We're not doing that stuff. You can, and you can certainly pull those lists. But if you're looking to get cash now, you want to make sure that there's equity and motivation, right? Those are kind of the two things that you're looking for. This guy obviously had motivation because he was behind on taxes. He was out of state. He had inherited the property. His tenants hadn't been paying rent for a year. Listen, some people just want to live their lives. They don't want to be bogged down with property and tenants and repairs and all these other things. It sounds crazy to you and I, but some people just don't want to deal with it. You know what I mean? So if somebody comes along and texts you and says, "Hey, I'll give you cash for your property," hallelujah, great, I'll take it, and then from there, I mean, it was amazing that you got it all the way through to getting a contract signed without getting them on the phone first. Typically that doesn't happen. Typically people will mess around with you. People will, have you come over to the house or send them contracts, and it's all fake. They're just messing with you. So
yeah,
this was a fortunate situation that Mark was in. The guy was ready. He did everything digitally. He didn't want to deal with the property. And 97. Well, I say that you made over six figures, but I guess you netted 97. So I stand corrected, but it's right there. I mean, that's life-changing money.
yep, life saving money.
But it started, remember, from the conversation started with, I had finally tithed to my grandma's church.
Yep,
I'm telling you guys, if you are underestimating the power of tithing, you are making a huge, huge, huge mistake. If it's only to be selfish, if it's only to be like, I want to make more money, tithe. I'm telling you, you literally cannot lose. If your mindset is to the point where you are able to give money away to whatever spiritually feeds you, you are in a place where you can get so many blessings, so many financial blessings. It's going to be absolutely incredible. So listen to the story here, peel back the layers of what he's talking about. Don't just look at the 97, look at the start of this where he said he tithed and you went through a dramatic time, and with the loss of your grandmother and this deal coming all together. I mean, it's just it's incredible. This business is incredible.
yep. So yeah, that was the other deal. I just closed another one last week. That was a cold call deal. I got the owner daughter was living in the home, trash in the home. Oh, this was a headache deal right here. Trash in the home. We got a squatter living in the backyard. Contracted that one for 80,000 and sold it for 93,000. So that was a
Love
13
it.
out there just
Love
closed.
it.
So
From
the
one
end of the
call.
month, I had like over a six-figure month, biggest month so far throughout my career.
I love it. I love it. And is it just you? Do you have people on your team? Are you making those phone calls? Who's doing that?
Yeah, I'm making the phone calls. I'm doing acquisition and disposition. Cold callers team. Normally I run with three cold callers, but right now with the COVID, when the COVID hit, I dropped a few of them. Dropped two of them. I kept one, my main one that's been with me since I started. Um, And
Is
so
this somebody in town or is this somebody overseas?
all Philippines,
Awesome.
Philippine cold callers.
Awesome.
So yeah, so I got that running. I'm doing the acquisition and disposition as of right now.
I love it, man. I love it. And the biggest thing that I love about this is you're keeping all of that money. I
Oh yeah.
mean, what is your expenses on a monthly basis? It's got to be pretty low, right?
Yeah, as of right now, usually it was around when I had everyone running with all the systems and everything I got, it was between around like 6,000. Now it's dropped. I mean, since I cut everybody down, it's been like $2,000. The first
And you made over 100,000.
Yeah. So first 3 months, I was at 18,000 through those 3 months. This one, since we're a new month, I'm gonna tally it all up because I go through it each month and each quarter. I tally up all my expenses. So that's a task I do have to do today to see what I spent the last quarter. It's not gonna be no more than 6,000. I don't think.
Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. So speak to somebody that maybe is going through a tough time. Maybe they're finding real estate for the first time. Maybe they're seeing this as the opportunity that they want. Maybe they don't want to get a job, or they're just not, they're not employable. I always consider myself not employable. I'd be fired from anything. You know what I mean? Like, what advice would you give somebody starting out that has just found real estate investing, just found wholesaling? What would you suggest they do so that they can get their first deal under their belt and start moving forward?
Okay, I would tell them, switch your mindset. Mindset is everything. So first of all, your mindset has to be right to deal with this business. Get your mindset right. Make sure it's something that you want to do. And if it's something you wanted to do, go ahead, find like-minded people, pick their brain, educate yourself as much as you can, and take action and start getting these opportunities coming your way.
Yep.
Because eventually something is going to land and it's going to pop, and it can be that one deal that changed your life and one deal that sets you free from whatever that 9 job, and it's going to open your eyes and say, hey, this is real, this can work, let me keep doing it.
Love it. How do people get a hold of you?
You can reach me on Instagram at real_estate_mark. So real estate.
That's with a C.
Yeah, with a C. I'm also on Facebook, Mark McCluster, as well. Or you can email me, mark@McClusterHomeOffers.com is my email as well.
Awesome, Mark. Incredible story. I mean, the what has happened over the last 9 years is just an incredible inspiration. You're off and running. You're being really smart with the income that you're making. You're keeping it for yourself, and you just keep building this business and building it, and a true inspiration. So thank you so much for getting on here and sharing your story. If you are listening to this and you want to join the most proactive group in real estate investing, it is the TTP family. Go to wholesalinginc.com/TTP. Wholesalinginc.com/TTP. Check it out. Scroll down, check out all the testimonials, check out what it's about. If it feels good in your gut, sign up for a call. I look forward to working with you personally. Mark, any final thoughts before we say goodbye?
Just get out there, man, and close some deals. Take action, everyone.
I love it. I love it. Thank you again, Mark, for being on the Wholesaling Inc. podcast, being part of the Rhino Tribe and the TTP family. And for everybody out there, as always, I encourage you to talk to people. See you guys. Love you.